Yeah, I'm gonna go turn the furnace off real quick. Just a second.
Okay. I mean, I gotta believe it's cold where he's at. Ain't no diggity. Okay, so let me do the stop of the local recording. Hit this. Because, those Patreon people are spoiled. They don't get any of this stuff. They just get the straight show. They trim that. Oh, hey, everybody. And Eric's going to pop in here in a second.
Hey, welcome back to Android App Addicts. This is episode number 521.
Wait. Slow down there, Pilgrim. Okay, let me do a transition back.
I'm winded now. That's all I had. Everybody, welcome to Android App Addicts. This is episode number 521. The Android show for people who like apps, people who like geeks, people who like DoorToDoorGeeks especially, and people who are in politics and work for state or local governments. It's just the door and myself tonight. Mark is tired, and I understand why. He's a busy guy. I'm out of breath because I just ran downstairs after turning my furnace off to start the show, and I don't know how much. Dude, we got to start over. That's dumb.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to start the Audacities over? So it's not confusing.
Whenever you're ready.
Do you get a dip in your mouth?
A dip?
Yeah. It looks.
No tobacco.
Yeah, you don't have tobacco in your mouth.
No, tobacco on my mouth.
For some reason, I thought you had tobacco in your mouth.
Nope.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Android App Addicts. This is episode number 521. I don't know why I got a thumbs up. This is the podcast for Android enthusiasts and geeks and technology lovers. Tonight, it's the dynamic duo, DoorToDoorGeek, Steve McLaughlin, and myself, Eric Ardini, the manager. And I would have to say it's cold outside door. How are you doing?
Well, and that's why I'm shocked that you ran to turn your furnace off. I mean, I appreciate it, and the listeners might appreciate it as well, but I would also appreciate your family not freezing.
I would appreciate living in a climate where I wouldn't have a furnace on yet.
Well, there's no perfection. Then you would say the opposite thing. I wish I didn't have to turn on the air conditioner so soon.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I don't complain about heat though. I'll go to Florida in August. It's fine with me. I will complain about the cold though. I feel closer to death in the cold.
Well, I think there's a reason for that. I hope you had a good week.
Yeah, it was busy. I am on the Institute training committee, so I have a big part in getting a week-long convention all set up to go every year for the next 2 or 3 more years. I think 2 more years. Next year, I'll be teaching an 8-hour class at the convention myself. This year is just putting out fires and sitting in on sessions, making sure everybody's got enough water in their glasses and candy in their dishes, whatever.
Do you have to worry about like LCD pro projectors or audio systems at all?
I do help a little bit when I can slide by, but if you can't get caught doing that because that's all union jobs.
Even better.
They don't want you touching this stuff.
No, that's good. Then you don't have to worry about it. So if somebody complains,
I don't have to worry about it.
You as a prototypical government employee can just throw your hands up.
Yeah. I do have I've got a merch table that I have to go down and set up at 5:30 every morning, to have all the stuff that people buy to take back home into their offices or whatever. So that's a big part of my thing. And I don't know, it was decent, I guess. It's just a lot of hours, a lot of driving. I had to drive back up here and back down again during the week to go to a meeting up here. So that was about 6 hours of driving for an hour and a half meeting. That
Wow,
that that was exciting.
that doesn't seem good.
No, it shouldn't have happened, but
No.
it's what it happens. Hey, I got hardware news. Do you have hardware news?
You first.
Okay. So my first hardware news comes with an app. So I will go ahead and paste that in here. Copy. And this is not a new piece of hardware in any way, but I went to a Target, and since the Pixel 3 was coming out, they had these Pixel 2 live cases from Google on sale. And this is the official Pixel 2 case. So basically, it looks like it's a piece of Google Earth, like a random photo from Google Earth. And then they've
Bad
got like,
link.
oh, no.
Links
Okay.
don't end in pluses.
They don't?
Nope.
Oh, let's see. Oh, no. This one ends in apps. Sorry about that. So these cases come with a little app, and it gives you basically a different screenshot from Google Earth every day. It's like 1,000 pictures or something like that. The
So,
first one you get matches your phone exactly, and then it changes every day after that.
okay. So the case is stagnant.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I was going
But
to
you
say,
but you can't activate the app without the case. It's some kind of a gimmick. Now on the Pixel, the original one actually had an NFC chip in it to activate the app. But
right.
that one didn't work too well, so now there's a code embedded in here that you type in when you install the app.
Ah,
And so
gotcha.
this was on sale for $20, so I figured I'd try a case on it for a while.
As long as it isn't too thick, I think I would be okay with it.
Yeah, no, it's thin, and it's kind of a attention getting. You're not going to leave this somewhere, and you're not going to be confused with it being somebody else's phone. And I like the way they did the buttons really nicely on the side. You're not pressing the actual button of the phone, but the way they designed it in the case was really well done. So I'll probably rock it for a while. Or
Gotcha. I will say I think it's hilarious. The Pixel 3 only has 4 gigs of RAM, and it
yeah.
very quickly kills other apps in the background. Is what they're saying. And I'm just literally cackling because the exact same people a week ago were just spouting off, spewing out their mouth like a bad Monty Python sketch with just stuff just shooting out of their mouth, compliments about how great it was, how great it was, how great it was, how great it was. Basically begging Google, please send us one, or another one,
Mm.
or keep sending us one, whatever. Um, to have such a thing happen is ridiculously, absurdly incompetent, okay? Just in case people don't know, Mobile Dynasty and Droid Nation were 2 other Android-based shows I was on. One thing that we learned back then was it takes a solid 24 months for the phone to go from somebody's idea to being sold in stores. I'm sure it's a little bit shorter, but there's no way it's shorter than 18 months, okay? So 18 months in development, okay? For at least 6 months, the like stuff's been leaking. So it's been near ready shipping for at least like 3 to 4 months. And they deliver it on day 1 uh, where it literally crashes apps in the background. And it does it during one of their most proudest moments where they shout and scream in people's faces about how great the camera is. You load the camera, basically kills every app in the back because 4 gigs of RAM is not enough for a power intensive application like their camera app. So I find it absolutely hysterical that these people are paying $800+ for a phone that cannot even run music while taking a picture.
We'll see how that goes because I think my Pixel 2 is going to get that camera app if it hasn't already.
Well,
And I've only got 4 gigs also, but
if it
I've never had an issue.
if it does, I have to believe on older devices they're going to remove a feature or two dynamically when you launch the app. I have to believe it.
The one feature I've been reading about just this week has to do with a low light picture mode
Yeah.
that seems to be pretty quality.
Well,
But
I
I'll,
know,
I'll
but
wait.
you
Hopefully, I
understand that
get it.
you understand that they're still lying because they haven't seen it yet. Google admitted we're going to roll it out.
Yeah, I keep looking for the update on my camera app, but
Yeah, because it's in, like, a week. No one's seen it yet. We've seen supposed static pictures of what the pictures will look like. What the hell are we supposed to tell from that?
so
You know?
we haven't seen pictures from a Google Pixel 3 yet
Oh,
with
we
these?
have,
We
but
have those.
we have not had a chance. Anybody in any sense
Yeah,
have had a chance to play with the app in its true night mode potential. It's
yeah.
coming. It hasn't happened yet. It might have happened hours ago, I'll say that, but I don't think so. It hasn't happened yet, and it's not happening for a couple more days. Yet people keep spouting about how great that part is too. Well, congratulations, I guess, Google, great job on marketing. Fantastic job on marketing.
I guess so.
Well,
I'm not in any way intrigued enough about the Pixel 3 to purchase one. My Pixel 2, and I'm not one who trades phones in. I mean, last year I guess I traded my phone in. I did a lot of swapping last year of phones, but I'll hold one for a few years. You're the same way, Door. This phone that I got, this Pixel 2, is still just fine for me. I'm not one, I'm not missing anything, and two, it's not really slowing down. I did have some battery issues last week, but then they sent a new update yesterday, so hopefully that'll change that. But it was suddenly, I mean, I was suddenly battery issues, and hopefully it was just a small amount of time thing because today it doesn't seem the same, but I don't know. Like you said before, it's hard to gauge battery issues, but you do when you are having something going on, you can definitely tell when it got worse suddenly.
yes, it's kinda like the Supreme Court and pornography. I know it when I see it. How do you explain it? Well, it's difficult to explain because, a whole bunch of different things can happen with battery issues. Um, what I'll say is we don't jump to other devices all the time because we are first and foremost normal people podcasting to normal people. We are not journalists aspiring to be the Kim Kardashian of cell phones.
Speak for
Um,
yourself.
well, there's a couple people out there who do content who really do. I have a passion and a love of the device itself, and it shows through. I'll say that. Like,
Of multiple devices, like lots of devices?
well, yeah, and they go through them like crazy. Like the one I'll say is Tank Girl.
Uh,
Mary, her, whatever. Um,
Marcus Brownlee too. I like
he is a smart guy, I'll say that, but, w with her, she makes no qualms about it. "I can't communicate with normal people. I'm not them. I have this," you know what I mean, kinda thing, and she's, open about it, and she craves and loves the highest of the highest end cameras, and she'll, at any point in time, tell you the 5 best cameras on the market, and typically, the number 1 costs almost twice as much as the number 2, and that still holds true today. Where, like, the number 2 camera, I wanna say, is around 500, just under 500. So, um, the only news I have in hardware news personally is, like, today, for instance, 3 separate times, my phone jumps from 70% or whatever to completely dead and powers off, and then I leave it plugged up, and it sits at 0% for sometimes up to an hour, and then it starts going 10%. It doesn't even It doesn't even go in like 10, 11, 12%. It literally jumps 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 in like a minute. And then the phone powers up and then I use it. And then, when I have it unplugged for about an hour, it goes dead. Um, but here's the thing. I will say if I really wanted another phone, I would already have another phone already in my hand. It's almost the yin and yang of life, Eric. You know what I mean? I try to explain to my children, gather round. I love you. You look funny. Oh, wait. No, I try to tell them in life, you have to have the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, the up and the down. There's no such thing as a perfect, never ending,
mm.
great. There's always bad stuff happening. Um, so I'm going to use this phone until it like blows up in my hand or it just will not boot after like a day. And then I'll get a new device. The reason being, I'm going to be so my expectations will be so low and I'll be
Oh,
so happy to get the new
the new
phone.
device will be just so much better if
Yeah.
you're absolutely on your phone's last leg.
Well,
I
and
I I
I
see that, yeah.
well, that to me is one of the truths that I do it. And the other reason is just because we're normal people. We cannot just at a whim say we want a 400, 500, $700 phone. We can't. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing, and I'm holding off. The Mate SE is really looking good. Essential phone, I'm not gonna lie. The hardware is
Mm,
silly crazy for the price. Silly crazy, great price, and you get good hardware, but it's the company itself, I don't think it's even gonna be around.
hmm.
So, I don't care about, you know what I mean? Um, so, I'm just, biding my time a little bit because
And that's the thing too, because every day you wait, there's another phone to throw to the mix, possibly.
well, and that's the thing. It is always and perpetually the wrong time to buy a phone. I've said this for I know at least 2 years. It is always the wrong time to buy a phone because
Mhm.
something will come out and something will happen. I will say you say mix. The one that caught my eye was the Mi Mix 3.
Mm,
Unfortunately, $700, but
mm.
everything you
Quite
can
a lot for
imagine in the phone, it is in that phone, and it's completely bezel-less, completely ridiculously bezel-less. Which I don't care if it's a gimmick. I would at least once, jump into it. Um, but, I'm gonna get something, I'm gonna take my time. My wife thinks I can hold off till Christmas. Oh, I don't know how it must feel to be so delusional. But I still love her
it's
because
not that far off.
there's no way this phone's gonna last 2 more months.
Well,
There's no way. I will be utterly shocked at, you know
so are you gonna go to Swappa, or are you gonna order something from China? What are you thinking?
well, I'll say this, Swappa is always an option, and I'll say this once again to everybody. You don't just walk by Swappa, see something, buy it, and, you know, virtually walk out. That's not how you shop on Swappa. On Swappa, you actually do the opposite. You browse Swappa, you log in with like your Google creds or whatever, and then you find devices that you like. Don't look at the price, or you can think, well, right now it's 300. Maybe I can get it for 280. If you want to do that, you can, but find devices you like and then just subscribe to them. And then every time a new device is posted in that category, you will get instant notification. And I guarantee you right now, first thing, it's like eBay. Look at the buyer, look at their rating, see how much activity they have. The more activity they have, the more you can trust them. It's a trust scale. But I almost guarantee you this. I've bought at least 5 devices from Swappa. Every time I ping them as soon as I can when I see a device that I really like and it's too much money, and I offer them less money immediately. And honestly, not a lot less money, but less money. And half the time they bite and say, I'll do it
Mm, yeah.
just because convenience, bang, it's sold. Um, it might be a swap up purchase. I don't know. Amazon, I believe they just took the Mate SE off of Amazon. Now the Mate 7X, I believe, is the international version of the Mate SE, but it has less RAM, like 1 gig less RAM or something like that. It's weird.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know. Um, if the Essential goes down to 220 again, it might be that. I don't know.
That's the one that our friends in the Google Plus community have been watching and buying, right?
Yeah,
So
at least
it
2 of them, I wanna say bought it, yes.
it's been fluctuating all over the place for
The
prices.
price is just bouncing all over the place, and it's because the company is I'll be shocked if it's in business in another year. They
Mm,
announced their next phone, but their next phone isn't a phone, it's a appliance that's smaller than a phone that you somehow program to automatically react to whatever incoming messages. It will automatically react, and you can use it as a phone, but that's it.
can it react with a, ringtone
I don't know.
and a answer button?
I don't know. It's completely, as far as I can tell, vaporware,
Hmm,
because I don't know if it's even going to get launched. Um,
'kay,
and, and I'll say this real quick, Eric. I was listening to Alphabet Scoop
mm,
is the name of the podcast.
okay.
A different podcast, I want to say, all about Alphabet, not just Google kind of thing. One of the things they said, which I thought very interesting, was the last Google event. They never once said the word Android,
Right.
which is rare, which is telling. It's something why that's planned. You don't just do that. That's planned. Fuchsia, we've talked about on and off to the
Mhm.
show, and I remember insulting, I don't know who the hell it was, from Libsyn or whatever,
Some
about
podcast, some oh, I know who it was.
some old timer who
I
swore he
know
knew
I know
about
exactly
how
who it was.
yeah, who, like, swore that he knew the future of phones, and I said, "Well, what do you think about Fuchsia? What's Fuchsia?" "What the hell do you mean you what do you mean?" And it's
Well,
okay, but
he worked for Microsoft before he worked for Libsyn, so
yeah,
he's kind of out of the loop.
yes, I'll agree. Now, the thing is, that is an alternate operating system where we already seen what an interface looks like, okay? What they said on Alphabet Scoop is, "What if Fuchsia is the next Android?" They literally drop Android completely, they stop with the next thing is Fuchsia, and what Fuchsia really is nothing more than Google Assistant device, where it's a very cheap, small, low price device. All you need is connectivity to the cloud, and everything you ask it to do, it will do. And like with the instant apps, they'll be able to do instant apps on the device at like a whim.
Where did those go? What happened with that thing? We
Well,
talked about it about, I don't know, 8 months ago probably, and
yeah, and the only mainline app that I knew that supported it was a shopping app called Wish. I wanna
mm,
say that I'd never heard of before, but apparently it's popular.
it it's
It
popular because they sell knockoff of everything, and
got
so now there's tons of YouTube videos comparing the real thing to the Wish version of it.
so it's like you wish you had the real thing, is that why they're called Wish?
It is, yeah, I mean, I wish I would have paid 70% more and got the something that's not as cheap and junky.
Right, and I will say from those, again, Alphabet Scoop guys, that sounds unbelievably plausible, but 99% of the time when I try to predict anything, I'm, like, completely off. So I don't know if it's just, tickling something in my brain that's making me agree with that what they said, but I don't know.
So is this our last version of Android? Or the one, what are we on now?
Um,
L,
uh,
Z,
P?
uh, P.
Yeah, pie.
Yes, we're on Pi.
Yeah, because we haven't had quiche yet or whatever.
Elemental PQ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quiche
which
I don't even think is Q, so I don't know. But I don't know. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what they do because one of the things Mark said last week is unbelievably true. If you take a look at the Android numbers, if P is the last version, there will be millions of P devices still active in 5 years
yeah.
because that's just the way it works.
I got one more piece of hardware news. I'll put the link in here again, but I brought it up a couple weeks ago when I ordered it, and it's the ZTE Quartz smartwatch. Now these are like $40, refurbished and used on eBay all day long now. And I got it, and I was a little miffed because it wasn't updating to the newest Wear OS version, and now it has, and yeah, it seems fine. Can't I'm not very versed with the new Wear OS because it's my old watch gave up on me, and I never made it to Wear OS with that. So it's a learning curve a little bit. This one has a physical button on the side where my old watch was all just tap. But for the price, it's pretty spunky phone. Battery life is about all day. I I think I may have looked at it one time, and it was maybe once late at night. It didn't make it through the day, I think. But yeah,
It doesn't even make it a whole day?
I think well, I think one time it didn't, but I don't remember the circumstances. It might have been really late at night.
Well, the face is all mechanical, right?
No,
That's not a screen. That is a screen.
it is a screen. Yeah, it's a smartwatch.
Oh, I thought it was a physical.
No, so this is for it's at so we're at what time? It's 43% still charged right now at this time of night.
Gotcha.
So that's I think I'm happy with the battery. No, this is a totally a smartwatch running the latest
Um,
Wear OS.
do you know if the band is like a universal type you can swap out?
It's a universal size. That's one thing I don't like about it. I was working out in the garage last night, and the band has two extra clasps here to hold it up tight, and it's all rubbery, and it really pinched my wrist. The two pieces of rubber came up together and pinched my wrist. It's also got these quick release Must be a new thing for watch bands. They got like a quick release now, so you can swap them out faster. I never knew about this, but it actually has nubs that point at your skin a little bit. I don't feel them, but it was just surprising that they'd have this little piece of metal. Um, I don't know if you can see that
Oh,
or not. There's a little white piece of metal there,
mhm.
so you can easily just slide that over and pop the band off and pop a new one on. So yeah, it's kind of thick. She's a thick one, but my wife's got the HTC watch. No, Huawei watch. It's about the same thickness. This one is a bigger. This is like a man's watch, where that one might be more of a girl's, because this has the larger size of the two band sizes.
Gotcha.
It's got built-in speaker in it. It vibrates. You can. I haven't found a way just like to cast a podcast over to it to listen to it. When I try to ask it to play a podcast, it wants to open iHeartRadio. So I need to work on that, and maybe, I don't know, Podcast Addicts is going to work at some point to do Aware, because it'd be nice if I could be like out, doing yard work or working in the garage, leave my phone in my pocket and just listen to it off the speaker that's on the watch.
Mm.
So that I never have it in my pocket's not buried.
Do you know if you can, like, connect a Bluetooth headset to the watch?
I probably can.
I don't know.
It's got Bluetooth. I don't know that I can for
Yeah,
sure.
'cause that's what I was thinking. It might be only Bluetooth from that to your phone.
Yeah, it might be. I can take phone calls and talk to the phone, and leave the phone in my pocket, or talk to the watch, answer the phone call and talk to the watch and listen to the person on my watch,
Right.
without ever taking out my phone.
Gotcha. That's like Get Smart, Dick Tracy level stuff.
My son's going to be in Get Smart, the play next week at the high school. That's what their play is.
Well, the n nine
Yeah,
nine Jaime, Chief, Siegfried? I don't
he's Agent 13.
Agent 13. No,
The
was he the guy in the always
in the trash can and hiding places and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was always someplace you, like, open up the, mail slot and he would be in there. And then
Then Maxwell Smart would throw the destructing
of course.
note in there with him.
But
Yeah.
I wanna say it was maybe, like, season 3 where finally he, like, said, "Look, I'm really getting sick and tired of this. I'm getting no respect." He pulled, like, a Dangerfield, like, line. I used to, uh, idolize, him as an actor, Don Adams, and that show, Max,
Oh,
Get
yeah.
was fantastic. I'm old.
No, I'm old with you. Um, do you wanna talk about any other hardware news?
The
We do
only
have some emails.
Yeah, the only other app news I'm gonna do is, there is a doc that got released, okay? It's literally a Google Doc. Um, like, right now, there's 58 people looking at it. Uh, I think it's kinda funny. These are apps on the App Store. Okay, now we've seen this. I wanna first precede this with, we've seen this in, Google Chrome, and I don't know about Firefox, but we had popular plugins get sold to somebody else. They maintain the plugin for X amount of time, try to get it maybe a little bit more popular. And then when they think the time is right, they then change the code for it to do other things.
Mhm.
Okay. This is why auditing, constant ongoing auditing is, I don't want to say the key to security, but if you're only checking new things as they, like, come into your house, then you're missing things that are already there. And I'll say the number of things on your device versus the number of new things coming on your device is monumentally more, okay? Period. That's just the way I think really it is there's just too many of them. And so what happened was, there's wide ranging reports. Some people say like $40 million, some people say $70 million, some people say like $150 million aimed by the people behind these apps. And what happened was they literally watched people's behaviors. There's frameworks that are commonly available for developers of all types. Okay, where you put it in your app, and what it does is it will literally record without recording video. It will record where you're at on the screen, where you click on the screen, how you drag on the screen, and then stuff like that. So they did that for a while, collecting data, collecting data, collecting data. Then basically what they did was they faked a bunch of activity based upon real users' activities, except it then clicked the ads that they were making money off of.
Mm.
So it was like click jacking in a way, kind of thing. And here's the thing I really want to emphasize to people. We might be normal people. Literally, we have 9 to 5 jobs. We do this for fun. We pay for everything basically out of our own pocket, and people support us when they can. None of the apps on this list are apps we've ever brought to any show, from what I can tell. None.
Yeah, I was looking through 'em. I was thinking the same thing.
And that's the thing. We've brought thousands of applications. Every other show, maybe 100, maybe 300, okay? Maybe 300. We've brought over 3,000 applications to this show, and not a single one of them is on this list. There's a reason for that, and the reason basically is we have, like, the instincts, like how,
Mm.
Eric said, the battery thing. We can't really tell you how we know, but we know when we look at an app, we look at a name, we look at the icon, we look at the dev name, we look at the images. It's pretty obvious when something is crap and you shouldn't trust it. Um, uh, so that's I'm gonna guess is the reason why we didn't bring any of these apps. I don't know.
And sometimes even though I see that it's crap, I'll still install it just in case I might be wrong, but I'll uninstall it and never tell you guys about it if it was actually that crappy.
Oh, there's at least one app on this list that I know I definitely did install in the past. I'm not gonna lie. And I got no problem telling you, it was a Minesweeper game.
And did it work like a Minesweeper game?
Yes, but then I thought to myself, "Why the hell did I install a Minesweeper game?" So I took it off my device.
There's one on here that sounds pretty intriguing though. If I can
Well,
scroll back up.
there's a couple names that are not family friendly, I'll say that.
There's one that was like Muscle Drift 2018 Pro or something like that. I'm like, wow, I don't even know what that would be just by the name of it. Sounds good though. Sounds like a I don't know, like a weightlifting and car racing mashup. Okay, well we've got a couple of emails, so I thought we'll read those now. Our first email is from Lyle Lastinger, and Lyle says, "Wanted to let you guys know that I like how you divide the show. First part is about general stuff and mobile computing. Second part is about apps, games. It's not as interesting to me. Keep up the good work, Lyle." Well, thank you, Lyle. I'm sorry you had to go through our mix up the mashup the other day when we got disruptive and changed it all around and started out with an email. And
Well well, I'll say this, I know Lyle. Lyle's a really good guy, really long time Podnutzian guy too. First and foremost, thank you for the email, Lyle. Um, he kinda made it clear to me that he loves when we talk especially about just general topics about computing, like security, privacy, the ecosystems, the tendencies, the technologies. And he said the only thing he doesn't like is the games. And I'll say this: right now he's a little scorned because he went and bought a computer and then a video card, and he was trying to get it to work in Linux, and he was having a difficult time with it. So
mm,
I'm gonna guess that part of his dislike towards games might have came from that. Just saying. No, no. But now, really quick, Eric,
mm.
privacy. I said the word privacy. Uh, did you hear the Tim Cook thing?
um, no, I guess not.
I don't even remember where he was talking. I only listened to a section of it because listening to that man talk um, is maybe one of the most boring, mundane things I think I could put myself to. It's literally like he's a cross between a accountant and a tax guy, I guess. I don't know. He's really difficult to listen to. But, he was basically trying to shame, and I've been using that word a lot lately, he was trying to shame companies like Facebook and companies like Google for what they do with your data, and I can picture him like, you know, being trying to be cocky about it, and I'll say this to anybody out there, including all these utterly stupid people I hear on podcasts, who state Apple is better because they care about your privacy. You know, they're better with your privacy. I really don't understand what drug the people are on who say that, because let me just make one thing really clear. Apple could care less about your end user privacy because you don't exist. They take all your data. What they care about is their privacy and their data, not you, end user. And for anyone to ever assume that, you have no idea how business works. They have to be beholden to the shareholder, do what's in the best interest for the shareholder. So their job is to basically take all your data and manipulate you as the best that they can for their own good. That's what their job is, not to protect your privacy and anybody to say anything remotely close to it, because that was an utterly carefully measured and weighed statement that he was making. And unfortunately, it was completely filled with lies and misconceptions. So anybody out there who believes Apple has people's privacy in the best interest, you obviously don't understand how capitalism works.
Yeah, I don't think Facebook makes a device that the first time you drop it, it cracks in a bunch of pieces either.
Well,
Not that I would ever defend Facebook in any way. Can't stand them, but
well, well, they make the new spy device called the Portal that they're selling.
oh my goodness, I've been seeing a bunch of ads for that, and that's not good. And the ads are just about people arguing with each other. I don't get their idea.
I
It's like,
know.
oh, let's bring the evil of Facebook home.
Look, Facebook right now is beginning of the floundering. You know how, like, as soon as you pull a fish out and you lay it on the dock and it sits there, does nothing for a couple seconds, and then it starts to flounder around. Well, Facebook is just starting to flounder around. The number, okay, first off, they were found guilty last week in a lawsuit about their video stats. A couple years ago, they came out and said, "We're going video. We're going video. We're going video." And everybody on Facebook who makes content is so dumb trying to tell me the number of views they have on their video. And I'm like, no, you don't. That's not how it works, kind of thing. And well, they were found guilty in court for lying about those numbers, how their videos work, and about how if you watched a split second of a video, they counted it as you watched the entire video. And they told advertisers you watched the entire video. So they were basically stealing money from everyone based upon lies. And they were found guilty. Um, and they have a percentage drop off of users in the last year that is unprecedented for their lifespan. So this could be the beginning of the end, or it could just be a downshift. But Instagram is where right now they're putting a lot of their stockpile in. That is growing and they're making all kinds of money, and all kinds of stupid people are spending all kinds of money on Instagram.
Hmm.
And
I
bring
I got I must be just an old fart because, I don't do Instagram, and I can't stand Facebook. I mean, it is actually part of my job. I have to be on Facebook every day for my work,
right.
but I if it wasn't for that part of my job, which I definitely let everybody know every time I talk to them about it, that n worst part of my job right there, Facebook.
Well, I mean, I'm not on it. I'm not on it for a reason. I really actually hate social networks. I hated Friendster. I hated all of them. And I'm on Google Plus because there's more nerds on Google Plus than I think anything else.
Yeah, but on Google Plus, they're not telling me that nobody's telling everybody they're well, maybe they are. Maybe I just don't see it. Maybe their algorithm's better, but I don't see oh yeah, well, this problem in my life today or
So,
this
good.
great food I'm about to eat and all that.
Well, there's one Linux guy who won't stop posting pictures of his food. I'll say that one guy, and I'm almost not following him, but that's different. Um, well, yes, and I'll say that's not what Google Plus is about. And I'll say Instagram, to be honest, I have an account on there for the makers. When I 3D print thing and I put it in the white box and I take pictures, I post
Mm,
it there.
mhm.
Instagram actually isn't bad because you can very easily, even on the ads, they let you on the ads click it and say report, and then you can report it and say it's spam. So that's why every single time I see an ad, click report spam, click report every single ad I see, every single ad I see nonstop. I say that. Um, and there are actually people on there who appear to be more normal. I don't know if they are posting normal kind of stuff. Like I'm doing this print. We're going to this theme park. I just got this video game. Not. I don't see any of the bad stuff on that one. So that one to me isn't horrible, but it's still Facebook.
Well, it's the we're going to this theme park. Yeah, check out this fake life that I'm putting out there for everybody to think of. You know, I don't. That's yeah. See, Rhino says I just posted my beer on Google Plus. That's
Good.
okay. There's nothing wrong with that, Rhino. I in the chat room, and Ivor's also an old fart. Congratulations, Ivor. Welcome to the club.
Yeah,
We
I'm
are
not
we are gray beards.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of basically any social network. I never have. Literally never. The only social network I was involved with, I would say was um um Trillion chat rooms, AOL chat rooms
Oh,
where I
you
would
didn't do ICQ?
help. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, ICQ. Yeah, Trillium was like the meta search of all of like the ICQ and all those other ones, wasn't it? Something like that?
It was the first one I think that I knew of where you could connect multiple protocols to it.
And then
So
Friendster did kind of the same thing.
well, Friendster was the predecessor to MySpace. I couldn't do either of those websites. You know what I mean? Even though Weird Al sang about MySpace, I still couldn't be a part of it.
And Instagram, was that the one that was podcast app at first?
Uh, and
One of them, or Twitter. No,
Twitter,
Twitter was.
yeah,
Yeah.
Twitter was Odeo. I loved the
Yeah,
Odeo.
Odeo. Yeah, that's right.
Huh?
Man,
It was great.
those good times. Now we got Podcast Addict and we don't have to look for anything else. So,
Yeah.
okay. So we've got another email from Jokopo Jenkins. Yeah, maybe. That might be right. Hi, guys. I'm a longtime listener. I work third shift and never miss a show. I like to say my budget doesn't allow me to contribute financially, but I've turned every Android friend and person I know onto your show. So I hope that bears fruit for the show. And thank you, Jokopo. That's all I ask. That's really let, show the love. I just wanted to chime in on the Assassin's Creed invite from Google. You guys were talking about it in the last episode. I signed up for an invite. I have two boys, 15 and 13, total gamer geeks, so I thought that they would love to play it. My oldest boy bought $162 on sale Acer Chromebook from Walmart this summer with his summer job money. Congratulations, kid. So we receive the invite and they hook up the Chromebook with a mouse and go online and sign up for an account and use a password. It assessed the hardware and our internet speed, and it was all deemed adequate. Our internet speed is not super fast, probably average. I must say that the game plays really smooth. It's hard to believe that it can play this smooth on a Chromebook with average to low cost hardware. I think my son said 30 or so frame rate, but it's not glitchy and they seem to love the gameplay. Right now, it's not playing the other people online, so it's just against the computer. But from what I hear, they will be adding that. We're really impressed with the online play and look forward to Google having gaming streaming service. I thought you guys would be interested in our little review. Love you guys. Keep up the good work. Another Android for life. Thank you, Jokopo. I don't know if I got to tell you, I did get my invite um, to play the Assassin's Creed game, and I had the very similar experience. I did it on a desktop, um, and I tried while I was on my trip just to see. I took my Chromebook and I tried to do it from the hotel Wi-Fi, but it wasn't good enough to do it through there. But on this network connection here at home on an old Linux box, it works just fine. I didn't have a controller, so I was using like he was the mouse and keyboard to control the game. It looked beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. $162 Chromebook. And I'm gonna guess it's wireless, not wired, because
Yeah,
that to me is the
probably.
big thing, because most Chromebooks don't have NICs, especially I would think lower end NICs.
Yeah.
So that is, literally about crazy, is what I'm gonna say, to have a $162 Chromebook being able to play this brand new game that just also got released on PS4. I got a guy in Discord, Eddie, who is, like, hooked on the game. Hooked, 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 hooked on the game, won't stop saying how good it is. And to have a good game playing experience on a $167 Chromebook is it really does open the floodgates of possibilities, what I'm gonna say. Um, I'm just gonna say, if Google does a gaming appliance, every company needs to worry big time.
Yeah, if they can get the hardware right that you hold in your hand, like just a great joystick, um, for the user experience.
Right.
I
Well,
think
that's
they
just simple. That's just a USB connection away. I mean, there's nothing special fancy. If Google wants to be like the Apple, they can partner with 8-bit Duo or something and have, a special edition controllers kind of thing. Um, because I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the only thing that I'm positive about is, um, at this time in history, 2018, late in the year, we've had a lot of companies, I think, do a lot of things that they keep saying to themselves, "We don't want to be the next IBM. We don't want to be the next IBM. We don't want to be the next GE. We don't want to be. We want to be successful," kind of thing. So there's little doubt in my mind. Google is doing everything in the best interest for not now, but for 3 years from now and 5 years from now. Because come January, that Assassin's Creed game is going to stop working in Chrome because that's what they said. That's just, because you got it for free or whatever. Don't worry about it. But the real question is, this is really just a test, and we don't know what they're actually testing for, towards, kind of thing. Um, this could be insane, is all I'm gonna say. Back before May, I kept swearing we were gonna get a console at IO. Yeti. Didn't happen, but something's happening.
and maybe that's why Google does this thing that I personally hate it every time they do it, but then I get over it when they purge products. So, how many times have you been in a relatively discount um, retail store and saw some GE piece of crap electronics device that was probably made by some other company totally, and they slapped a GE name on it, further downgrading the quality thought process of yourself of anything that GE makes. You know, they're purging off these little bits and pieces so they don't have junk out there. Maybe things didn't work out quite as they had expected and they threw a lot of money at something and it just wasn't happening. Google Plus, I really wish they wouldn't do that too, but
Well,
maybe they see the writing on the wall. All social media is going away and they
nah.
want to be gone too.
I'll say this. I said it on DDG, so sorry for repeating myself. People listen to that. First off, Eric, there was no data breach. There was no reason to shut it down, quote unquote, shut it down. Two,
Gotcha.
they're not shutting it down. It's going behind Google Suites or whatever. But here's the real thing. Three, they're shutting it down next August. Why? Why don't they just do it now? Why don't they just do it tomorrow? Why don't they just do it in 2 weeks? They're waiting till next August. Why are they waiting till next August? I don't know, but I'm gonna say it wouldn't shock me if they told the company, with your 20% time, if somebody can think of something in its place before next whatever, we're gonna implement it come next August. I don't know. I have no
Or or
idea, but why wait?
or G plus plus will be ready by then and
Or whatever,
everybody
because
can.
they're not making money off of Google Plus. They're not making money off of Google Plus. Why wait? There has to be a reason.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right, they're not. Yeah, I don't know, man. Good
I don't
question.
know, but and I'll say it like this, Eric. I have no problem saying I was my all my initial thinking was completely wrong about the Assassin's Creed thing. I swore they were only going to let people do it on the highest end Chromebooks or higher end computers, and that was it.
We never know what Google's gonna do. Well, that was a good guess. I mean, that was a good I was with you when you said it. I had already signed up, and I
Well,
would say, I don't know, anybody who wants to try it, go ahead and I don't know if they're still open for signups, but give it a try. I mean, I'm sure if it's still open, they need your feedback.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, and I'm just, thinking, like, next May, Google I/O, I'm thinking they're going to announce something game related because, I mean, if you guys don't know yet, the game industry makes more than the entertainment industry in, like, movies or TV. So there's a lot of money there to be had,
Yeah.
and well, here's the big kicker, Eric. Ever since Windows 8 got launched, I've understood a couple things. Um, just because I don't think something is cool, something is smart, something is correct. What I gotta understand is there's a huge percentage of people, like let's say with the Windows 8 thing, who literally don't use computers. They actively hate computers. When they do something groundbreakingly different, like Windows 8 Metro tile interface, they're literally trying to capture the people who don't use computers because I don't have a choice. I'm already using computers. I'm gonna have to keep using computers. I just gotta suck it up and deal with it, kind of thing. So I believe when Google does the things that they do and the big companies do the things they do, part of it is they know they got you, kind of like Comcast doesn't care if you leave because they don't. Really don't. Verizon doesn't care if you leave because they really don't. What they the only money that they're always after, it seems like, is the money they don't have. You know what I mean? That customer who isn't a customer, let's get them. Let's get them. Let's get them. And even though the game industry is making metric tons of money, there are a lot of people out there that don't play games.
Yeah.
More people that don't play games that do play games. So if Google does something game related, expect if you consider yourself a gamer whatsoever to be completely disappointed and think it's stupid.
Well, and they've teased it in there a little bit too. They've, every now and then they throw the non-gamers a bone, here, oh, here for free. Here's a retro Pac-Man game you can play on any browser, things like
Yeah,
that. And you know what? Honestly, for a lot of people, that Pac-Man game, they remember spending 50 bucks on that cartridge or whatever and back in the day and they played it for hours.
right.
That they could play it for hours again and Google just gave it to them. That's kudos to Google. Any Pac-Man apps this week?
Really, Eric, I'm not a fan of I've never been a fan of Pac-Man, mainly because I sucked at it. I did like Baby Pac-Man. Do you remember that one?
No.
Okay. Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man,
Baby
there's at
Pac-Man.
least one more other ones, but Baby Pac-Man was half arcade screen, half pinball machine. So
Oh,
so I
that
played
sounds
that one
familiar.
just because it was different.
Alright, do you wanna bring the first app?
Well, you already brought one app at least.
Alright.
What I'm going to bring, and I'm gonna bring this because I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Um,
Well, you already brought this.
no, no, no. This one is the purchase one. I'm pretty sure I didn't bring it. Maybe? I don't
I'm
think I
gonna
brought
look.
this one. I
Oh,
did bring a couple, but I don't bring this is called Stardew Valley Tracker. See, now Eric's making me
I'm gonna
uh,
look. No, you go ahead and
and
talk about it.
you
I'll
can go
look.
ahead and look because I already am looking, and there's 0 matches, so take that one. Um, this is called Stardew Valley Tracker by Brad Abrams, Books and Reference, E for everyone, 149 to buy, 49 reviews, 4.5 average reviews, eligible for family library, updated September 25th, 2018. Size is 2 megs, 1,000 plus installs. Current version 1.0.6 requires Android 4.1 and up. Um, this is basically a tool to help you actually plan days ahead of time and will let you do like quick documentation. Like at the logic is at the end of the day wraps up and the screen waits for you to hit a button to move on. So that's the perfect time to basically go to your app, document some of the things that you did, some of the things that you need to do, kind of thing, and then play the next day. Because once you start playing, unless you actively pause the screen, time does not stop, kind of thing. So it's all about
Hmm.
management, resource management. Um, and the real reason I'm bringing this is because Stardew Valley is coming out for iOS. It's coming out for Android sooner or later. It is to me a great positive based game. It's not a negative-based game. It's not about death. It's not about well, it is about death. Grandpa dies seconds into it, but it's not about death. It isn't about murder. I don't think there's any murders that happen. There is an alcoholic. But it's not a negative game in the sense of you don't shoot people and see blood everywhere kind of thing. And it's about building resources up, building your farm, building relationships, going fishing, going mining,
So
whatever.
so so for those who have listened and still don't know what you're talking about, over these last so this is basically it's like Farmville and Zelda put together?
The hardest thing about this game is to describe it because while it looks archaic and minimalistic, it looks like something that literally could have came out in '94. Okay, kind of thing.
Mm.
The problem with the game is as soon as you start playing, there's too many options for you to do. And then every day is only just more options of what to do. And there's no such thing as the perfect day because it's all about preference, personal preference. What do you like? What do what do you crave? What do you desire? What do you want to do? So the problem with the game is it's too hard to tell people what it is because it's too many things.
So depending on who you are is what it is.
Right, and it's very difficult, I'll say, for a lot of people to get past that first hour worth of gameplay without encouragement from the outside. Because
Hmm.
you're like, "What is this? What is going on? This sucks. This is hard," kinda thing. Because you're at level 1, if you try to fish, you kinda suck at it because, you're level 1. Um, the real reason I'm bringing this up, because I'm gonna say this publicly now, Eric, is there is a chance I'm at least going to help be a part of a Stardew Valley-based podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
And here's the only reason why. Why the hell isn't there one already?
Yeah, that and you can level up by getting all these guys' tips.
Well, that's the whole thing. You don't need tips because there is no perfection. You do it yourself kind of thing. And I mean, if you want to be a farmer, you can be a farmer. If you want to be a miner, you can be a miner. If you want to be a gambler, there's a casino you can gamble.
So is this all on your own though? I mean, or is this a multiplayer, mega multiplayer game, or is
Okay.
it all just
Okay.
go ahead.
There's the PC version and the Switch version. The Switch version is getting multiplayer any day. The PC version already has multiplayer, and there's already mods in place to where you can set up a server that will host the game, so you can have multiplayer and where you don't have to be there all the time. You know what I mean? Other people can play if you're not there and maintain the farm and upkeep the farm. You can literally share responsibility of your farm kind of thing. Or you can just play peer to peer where the host has to be online and then other people can join and you can do the same kind of thing.
Now, when you say PC version, is that Windows PC or could you play it in a browser?
Windows, Mac, Linux, no browser based, which I don't understand why it's not browser based, except it was originally written in C sharp. So I guess I understand it was .NET based.
So
So I understand why.
have you played it on your Linux box?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've put over 40 hours into it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Um, and now on the Switch version, we believe we're only going to have peer to peer multiplayer, which isn't as good. There's no mods on consoles, so there's certain things you can't do. The mods can really enhance the game if you want, kind of thing. Um, But and to put it like this mildly, Eric, the difference about this game, Stardew Valley, is if you find a group of people, you find 2 people, whatever, that play this game, there's only one thing that you're sure of. They're not jerks. They're not trolls. They're not, bad is what I'm gonna say.
Hmm.
You go on Reddit, you find a Stardew Valley group, you go into that group and you post stuff, even what you consider to be the stupidest question about the game, people will respond kindly. It's just the way it is.
I've noticed Fortnite's the same way.
Yeah, sure. Um, and with this game, a lot of people, I'll just say, use it almost as therapy, um, because it's a non-violent game. There's certain things that happen in it that aren't,
Oh man, I want to stay away from this game.
you do because listen, 99% of the people I mention this to, wherever you are, you will not like this game. It's not for everybody. There's no way it's for everybody, or else it would be, crazy popular, which it's only mildly popular. It doesn't even
Fortnite's
have a
over.
podcast. Huh?
Fortnite's over. So
Oh, I know.
that didn't
I'm
last
so
long.
happy too. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Get the hell out of here. You suck.
They do have Fortnitemares now for
I
Halloween time,
I
but
know, but Call of Duty basically did the death blow. And that's okay because Tencent already admitted this is nothing more than a experiment. Every penny they were making, which at the end was over $2 million a day, they just took it as free money, and they're just going to take that money into further research and manipulation to try to maximize dollar amount. Because that's what they do. But yeah, Stardew Valley Tracker. If you have any inkling at all to play Stardew Valley, I definitely encourage you to have research tools that you can look up. Like back in the day, video games, you were supposed to sit down and figure it all out yourself. Stardew Valley, I think, is at least partially they expect you to go at least look up certain things.
So
Um,
this app is a big help for you in the game.
This is more planning, not research, because research is just as important. Like here's a good example. To go to your house, to Robin's house, where Robin is the person who could do your house upgrades, it takes in the game time-wise almost an hour and a half to 2 hours, I believe, even if you go the short way, which is
Wow.
every 10
Yeah,
minutes, only
I
7.
can't play that game. I can't play that
No, no,
game.
no, no, listen, in our time, every, like, I think it is 17 seconds is 10 minutes. Or, it's something short like that. So it really only takes like 2 minutes to walk around to her house, but in the game, it takes like 2 hours, you know what I mean? Um, and time is money in the game. You cannot get time back. So you wanna before you leave the house, pause the game, look up a thing, see how much what you want cost, because
Hmm.
sometimes you need clay, sometimes you need stone, sometimes you need gold, sometimes you need wood, sometimes you need different things. And you don't wanna get there and say, "I have that back at my house." So those
So,
things.
uh, Ivor was asking, what platform is Stardew Valley on? I told him the Switch. You mentioned a few other ones. Well, it just came out yesterday
Mhm.
on iOS,
Yep.
for iPhone and iPad. So, Ivor, I would say don't go buy a Switch if you wanna play this. If it just came out for iOS, it should be coming to Android soon, so we should be you should be able to
Well,
experience it on a device you already own soon.
and I'll just put it like this. I hate politics getting into anything, whether it be Linux or whether it be Android or a game. I hate when politics get involved with things because I don't want my politics in there. Politics are for politics, not for the operating system or games. But Concerned Ape. His name is Concerned Ape, literally, because he said, "I'm concerned and I'm a primate kinda guy." I mean, it's just yeah, yeah. Um, so there is a little messages in the game, they're not crazy. I'm gonna say they're not, insistent, they're not punching you in the face through your face with the message, but, like, you can accidentally get trash, in a trash can of all places, but you can also, like, fish and get trash too. And then you can get a recycling machine and recycle stuff and get useful stuff out of it. So there's little things like that that are actually, political is what I'll say. But here's the thing. He's unbelievably smart and nice because it's literally made by one guy. On the PC, it's $15. On the Switch, it was $15. On mobile, he already said 12 bucks. It's going to be less. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Where some game people make no sense about their prices. I'll say that. And more than likely, you wait 3 weeks to 6 weeks, and you'll be able to get it on sale on Android for 7 bucks or something. But yeah, and then here's the thing, on iPad, the people say on the iPad Pro is the place to play it because of they have proper multitasking, so you can have an app like this up in the same screen.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna probably, I already made the word see, I don't do nothing. I actually made a doc up with, like, what should the show be called? Do we already have theme music? Do we have an email account? Do we have a preferred email account? Do we have a preferred email service? Um, do we have any accounts on any social media planned? And I listed all the social media things I could. And then it was like, do you want this to be more community driven or community accessed? Do you want actual sessions where you could open it up and have people come on? Is your goal to make money? Of course, that question is down by the bottom because if the answer is yes to that, then I'm not doing it probably. But, I don't mind helping people. So that's how it started out. But knowing me, I'll probably be on the show because, Stardew Valley. And here's the thing, Eric. I've been talking a lot, but here's the thing. I got a 90-day report from Nintendo telling me how much game time I had playing, okay? I have no
Mhm.
to play games. In 90 days, I had 3 hours.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
That's not that's nothing.
Yeah,
That's nothing.
that is nothing.
Yeah, but,
Did the PC, give you a report on how many hours you spent on it?
no, which it wouldn't be much either, but, so you can get it on, GOG, Good Old Games, where it's DRM free for 15 bucks, or you can get it on Steam for 15 bucks. Once in a while, it goes on sale for, like, 10 bucks. Now, I will say on PC, both of them with the mod environment, if you watch any YouTube videos whatsoever, and then you go to play it on Switch, you might be a little bit upset because something's not available because it's only available in a mod.
Mm. So, so I got so excited. Ivor left the chat. He was in here talking with us. Like anybody who wants to listen live on Thursday nights, we start at 8 p.m. Eastern. But he had put a little nugget in there of show titles. So those who don't listen to the end and don't hear about this, the people in the chat room get to create the show titles for the show. I got so excited, I hit awesome and hit enter, and somehow I cleared out my I blew away that tab. So Door, I'm counting on you. Oh wait, I might have just found it.
You never wanna count on me.
Yeah. Okay. Nope. Never mind. I'm not going to count on you.
Okay,
I'm just logged in with as two different people right now. Okay, that's cool. We still got it. But he put a paste bin of show titles already in just the short amount of time he was in there.
cool.
All right, I've got an app, so I'm going to bring this back to my new watch. I found an app for it called. I'm going to say that this is called Rontivity, and this is a game for Wear OS. Just something that you can have on your phone when you really get bored, or if you're standing in line, you don't want to whip out your phone, and just it's actually a pretty decent little game. It's a round circle because I got a round watch now, and basically you just tap on it to man my mouse is messing with me, man, bad tonight. So there's a bunch of balls spinning around on a circle, and you need to avoid them by tapping. And when you tap, you change. It's basically like changing lanes in like a endless runner game, I suppose. But it's in a circle. And it just keeps count of how many times you pass a ball and make it. It's not easy, but it's kind of
Well,
cool.
when they start moving, I can see it getting really difficult. Well, but here's the question, because the screen they're showing looks like a phone screen.
Yeah, this is only. Oh no, no. Oh yeah, it does look like a phone screen, but no, this is. I don't know if you can play it on your phone. I don't even think it installed on my phone when I installed it
Oh, so it's, like, directly on your
on my
watch.
watch. Yeah,
Huh,
yeah.
well, that explains why you don't get all day battery, Eric.
Maybe. I mean,
Huh,
yeah. It is not installed on my phone at all, but it is on my watch.
gotcha. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, I like finding alternate uses, like, I don't even know if you know, Eric, the original definition of the word hacker, was basically for someone who would find playful, alternatives and rearrangements of things was what
Hmm.
it meant, not breaking into systems. Um, so to use a watch to play a game, not your traditional way to experience a game.
Do you know what the original meaning of geek was?
Yeah, I do. It was a carnival person who would bite the head off a chicken.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So when I was a geek when I was younger, I was like, that ain't cool, man. That ain't cool.
Well, we had a movie filmed here called Luther the Geek back when I was in like grade school, and it was a locally filmed movie, and it was about that. Some dude who did that and went around biting the heads off people too.
Alrighty.
There you go. Halloween movie recommendation. What you got, Door?
What I got next, honestly, I'm not yeah, I've been saying honestly a lot. I haven't used this yet. I do intend on it. I did ask, the guys from the Makers Show, if they used it. They said they never heard of it. This is called RollingUp Filament Spool Manager for 3D printing from, Anthony Stefan. The word rolling up is all one word. There is no spaces. Productivity app, not a game. You're welcome, Lyle. 18 reviews, contain ads, does have in-app purchases, free to install. The pay is to get rid of the ads. I'm 99% sure.
Hmm.
August 3rd, updated 6.7 megs in size, 1,000 plus installs. Current version 1.12 requires 4.1 and up, and Android content rating again, E for everyone, $4.49 for the in-app purchase. Okay. What this app is to do, what this app's goal to do is to be like a library, a odometer, if you will, of all your filament. Because a lot of times when you have a 3D printer, you don't just have one roll of filament. You got the blue and you got the red and you got the purple kind of thing. And then you say to yourself, I don't want to print this in red. I want to print this in purple. So then you got to take it out, disconnect it, take all the filament out, put the new one on, put it on. But the worst thing that can happen is if you run out of filament during a print. So with every print, with every slicer, which is the final application you use in preparation before sending it to the printer, it will tell you approximately how much filament that you use based upon the diameter of the filament that you picked, kind of thing. So then you basically just in this app, you can record and keep track of how much filament that you're using for any given color. You can keep adding them. You can give them names. So you can say Zealtech Silver, Zealtech, you're the best. I love you. If anybody could sponsor this show and I actually be in support of them sponsoring this show, Zealtech is one of those companies. Um, Kind of thing. Great
I
filament,
I
fair
I
price.
concur.
Yeah. So what this app basically does, it just helps you with your management. Kind of like Stardew Valley with your resource management of money and farms. This is filament management IRL, or as the kids used to say 10 years ago, in real life.
This is an inventory management system for your filament. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah. And
Um,
it's made by somebody outside the US, so you know he actually probably worked hard for it.
it's
Oh,
got a
did I
good
say that
look.
out loud? Damn it.
It's got a nice look to it. I like how it gives you a visual graph of how much you have of each color. You get the color of the filament and then a visual representation of how far it's wrapped around the outside of that circle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. The only bad thing I'll say about this app is if this guy could have came up with this idea like 8 months earlier, I'm sure he would have seen a lot more success because this is the kind of app if you're already halfway through a roll, you don't want to start using it because you feel
Mm.
upset. So you want to get as many people as possible when they start rolls. So this is even the kind of app if you already have a printer and you already have been using some of your filament, don't worry, install the app. Next time you buy a roll, add it to the app.
Yeah, I mean, even if you have a lot of filaments and you just want, I can't remember what kind of colors. I thought I had a yellow, but do I have gold? Just keep track of what you have anyway, even if you don't have the accurate counts on them.
Right, and how to say, I am so stupid, Eric, because if I had any, like, acumen in my brain whatsoever, I would have bought at least 1 spool of an orange, like, a month ago, because, I don't know,
Mm,
maybe October, a jack-o'-lantern.
yeah.
Liam, good friend Liam, I love to get him drunk and punch him, he he just printed like a Minecraft jack-o'-lantern, and I believe it's like a little LED light inside, like a candle light kinda thing inside. Looks phenomenal. It looks so cool. I tell you right now, if he lived in my neighborhood, I'd steal the thing off his porch.
Wow.
I would. And Aaron, another guy, great guy. He's the guy who keeps saying no to me, even though we keep asking to go to conferences. He has, I wanna say it's a 2.5 to 3 foot tall Lego skeleton that he printed in individual pieces, and this year he printed like a 2.5 tall horse that the skeleton's gonna sit on. So and what I think he's gonna do is he's gonna take the head off because it's all modular, 'cause it's Lego. I think he's gonna take the head off and put the head in the guy's hand to make him the headless horseman.
Oh, that's smart.
That is
Yeah.
really smart, I gotta say, and I'll say this, literally with the 3D printer, one that cost, less than or well, about 300, you can literally print 3-foot tall Lego figurines. I don't know what more you want.
Yeah. How much money can you save in Legos if you just print your own?
Legos are a complete ripoff. Doesn't matter how you look at it, they are a complete ripoff. Now, what you print is gonna take you time to get it honed in. to really get it in, but it's quite simple. Printabrick.com. Printabrick.com. They basically have everything that Lego ever created right there in STL format that you can download.
Hmm.
So yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
my kids are college age, so we don't do too much Legos here no more, but
I
there's
tell
always
you,
the next
man,
generation coming.
they are so painful to step on. They really are. Yeah, I don't know how they achieved such a level of pain, but thank God they're not in the torture business.
My turn? So I got this, notification today from Google, and they're like, "Hey, check this out. You're not gonna find it in the App Store, but if you join us, we will install it on your phone." And it's called Bulletin, and I have to say I haven't gotten into it too much, but it looks like to me it's a way to post a bunch of pictures off of your phone about a specific event or place or something that you feel passionate about and put out there. And not only is this something you would just share with your family, but this actually will be on the web and searchable on the World Wide Web, on the internet. Like Google searches will bring this up of the thing you've created.
So
I
if you
That's
don't
all I
take
can say about it.
so if you don't take pictures, it's useless?
I would say it's pretty much useless, yeah, because this
Okay.
is going to be basically a bunch of pictures with captions.
Well, since they're charging $800 for a phone that can only take pictures and do nothing else at the same time, I guess that makes sense.
I have not seen that to be true yet,
Well,
but so
nobody
like
has.
they have some example ones like the Pilgrimage Festival 2018. So basically, bunch of short video clips, a picture of somebody playing extra large, huge sized Connect Four, some more video clips, like 5 second. Are they all 5 second video clips? Yeah, some of them are longer.
Yeah, I did see a, gigantic Connect 4 thing the other day. Here's the thing. Anything involving Google and video, anything involving Google and video has no choice but to be successful. I mean, the number 2 search engine
Mm,
is YouTube. I mean, the amount of traffic that goes through YouTube is sick. So for them to expand on any kind of video, moving pictures kind of thing, for them to not be successful, it's going to have to be really bad. So it wouldn't shock me if this is going to be fine, normal, successful, blend in, and people will just take for granted that it's there.
yeah, I guess that they're trying to. It's like a picture story you're supposed to give with your pictures. So I don't know. I haven't decided how to try it out or what subject I would do. I don't know. I did enjoy watching Dirty Thumbs. He put up a video the other day of a day with Dutch,
Oh
and
yeah.
I did enjoy watching him run and bike and go kayaking. I'm like, man, I'm actually more like Dirty Thumbs than I remember being. Except for the running and riding bike part. But I've kayaked once or twice.
Yeah. He is so dirty. I gotta say, I love that guy. He is the guy who's lucky he doesn't live close to me. Because yeah, just really cool guy, really awesome guy. Doing the Average Runner podcast and Negative Splits, I think, are the two that he's doing right now. And Horrified Chicken is still doing good. Horrified Chicken is on this show. It was well known that he hated horror movies with a passion. Would not sit down and watch them. Would literally like forcibly walk out of the room, not watch it. But his wife convinced him to sit with her and watch horror movies, and then the entire podcast is basically her making fun of him, him trying to defend himself. It's really damn funny is what I'm gonna say.
I have to check that out. I don't think I've even heard that.
Oh my goodness, it
I
is just
will.
let me tell you something. There's gonna be at least more than one occasion where you are gonna wanna hit pause and instantly just ping him. SJ Geek 89 on Twitter or something because
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I can see that. And it looked like when he was going on his. We've got a similar river. I mean, as far as the way his river was flowing and the spiders and the trees and all that stuff. It's pretty funny. Do you want me to empty my tank or do you got?
Well, just really quick, the one thing I will say about running, yeah, long story short, people, I used to run literally 2.8 miles in just under 15 minutes. That's basically 5-minute miles, 3 5-minute miles. So that's not easy. I know what running is. I know what it can do. One of the things I've heard podcasters say is quite literally, somebody who is actually a runner kind of thing, you literally should be able to run at a comfortable rate and talk very normally and not have, crazy deep breaths or, not able to talk kind of thing,
While
um,
running or after you're done?
while running,
Mm,
because you don't wanna run so fast that you're actually taxing yourself is their logic in their type of running where you do the marathon type running, the, 5K type running.
kind of been a
Um, so I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna be shocked if he doesn't put out more content like that because I felt that I really don't wanna know what people's daily routines are, but when it comes to dirty thumbs, I thought that was really damn good, and I would watch more.
yeah, yeah, it was, very enjoyable, and he's got a great GoPro. It looked really nice.
Yeah, but he had a selfie stick, so he lost a lot of credit with me.
Well, as long as you're not seeing him using it, you know?
I know, and I know he'll say it wasn't a selfie stick, it was a gimbal. Yeah, same thing.
It's not. I've got okay, I wanted to bring I don't know, we've never brought this, I guess, somehow, but, um, YouTube TV. So, Comcast, my good friends at Comcast said, "Oh, we'll give you double your speed on your internet, and, we'll give you HD, and we'll take away all those channels you don't watch, and we'll reduce your monthly bill." Well, that sounds great. All we gotta do is we gotta send you some new boxes because you don't have the right boxes right now. Like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Because they closed our local office, and now I would have to drive like 80 miles to go to another office, even though the one was in my town. So they sent them to me. They sent me three boxes, only two HDMI cords, and two of the boxes don't work right out the bat. So I invited my parents over to watch the Bears game, and so I don't have any cable boxes to watch the Bears game on. So I decided, well, what the heck, I will. Um, I'll buy a service. I love Philo still. That's my streaming service. 16 bucks a month, 40 channels or 36 channels. Everything you want to watch on TV if you want to watch on TV. All your TV except for sports and news, which is perfect for me because I don't like watching sports and I don't like watching news. So, YouTube TV has CBS. I tried to get it off over the air on an antenna, but for some reason our CBS station's weaker than all the other ones, so I couldn't do that either. YouTube TV had the game, and they have a free 7-day trial, so you can try it out. So I did, and I gotta say, Philo's quality was better, as far as latency and like, swirling and things like that. YouTube TV, I had a lot of, staggering issues like that and, bandwidth issues, it seemed. Philo, PHIL was better. This one did have a ton of sports, though. If you are into sports, the YouTube TV for I think it's $40 a month has it's got 60 plus channels, including your local sports and news. Now, I first signed up and I put in my zip code, and they're like, "Oh, we're sorry, you don't have any local channels that we could stream to you, so you're out right now." So I just used my go to 60614 zip
Mhm.
Chicago, and that's also how I got in the Project Fi. Like 2 years earlier than they
Yeah.
would have let me. But yeah, 60614 is a great zip code if you ever need anything, that you can't get in your own zip code. So, I signed up. It was super simple to get going and for free for 7 days. It was great, but I don't see me spending the kind of money on that one at this point. Other than that, though.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, the people I know, I'll say, who have tried YouTube TV or who do have YouTube TV, I'm not even sure they're sports people now that you say that out loud. I do know at least one of them is a news person.
Hmm.
Um, and they had very, very good things to say about it. So I'm gonna guess it was a live streaming thing was more of the issue than the content itself. You know what
Yeah,
I mean, than, like, the actual service itself.
and I could see it if somebody is into TV, news, and sports, and they use a DVR that they're renting from their cable company, this is a great solution for that. I mean, Philo also does the DVR, and it's super simple. You just, you pause it when you get up, go to the bathroom, and hit play when you get back, and then you can fast forward through some commercials later. And the interface is almost identical to Philo, too, the entire thing. Um, I was surprised at how similar they are because you go like from Amazon Video to Netflix to Philo to YouTube. The interfaces are not similar, but
Oh,
um,
y
these are
yeah, see, now, I gotta say this, because this is how I am.
Mhm.
The one network not on here, Cooking Network. I'm gonna tell people right now. If you ever were a fan of Alton Brown, if you know the name, then you are a fan of him. His show Good Eats. Right now on the Cooking Network, they're doing Good Eats Reloaded, where he's literally right now, today, kind of thing, sitting and going through certain key episodes of that series back then, and but he's updating them with correct content. He said, "Because when I said this, I said it wrong," kind of thing.
Mm. Okay. That's
Really interesting food guy who actually explains cooking and how the chemical reactions and stuff and the fat, protein, and kind of thing. He's a really smart guy, at least he comes off like that, and I really like his content, and he's on the cooking channel, and YouTube TV doesn't have cooking channel. So, if I were to be a YouTube TV subscriber, I guess I'd have to use torrents.
Is there there's like a new cooking show now with, Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, isn't there?
I hope not,
I
but
think
wouldn't
there
shock me.
No, I think there is.
I
I
don't know. I know, Netflix is banking on, because Bordeaux is dead, she was going around experiencing cultures through food just like him. There was something she was doing that was different, though. Can't
Yeah.
remember what it was.
So this is on VH1. It's called, Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party.
Ah,
They're on their 2nd season, Door.
great, I guess, I don't know.
I should be watching this.
If you
I
should.
wonder if I wonder if I got VH1.
And I got this Asus Zenfone here that I
Yeah?
was trying to, like, prep in case I needed it for a backup phone. Um, I wanna say this is not a Zenfone 2, I cannot remember. Maven Group, thank you for he's the guy who sent me this phone, a year ago, whatever. I used it for a good amount of time. Um, Unlike American phones in American stores, this phone is sold overseas, and it expected you to be a administrator, not just an end user. Um, can't take the battery out on the back, which is kinda weird,
Hmm.
but,
It looks like
that's how it is.
you can slide
Um
it sideways or something.
No, 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 no. There is no sliding that battery sideways
Hmm.
at all. Um,
And Maven Group
eh
also gave me my first smartwatch, the one that just recently passed
oh,
away.
that's right. The battery isn't lasting a long time. Now when I boot it up, but when I first booted up, everything seemed to work. Now when I boot it up, the Wi-Fi will not turn on,
Hmm.
and I will say the phone is literally physically hot, pretty hot. So I'm going to still keep trying this thing because the logic is if the Honor 8 dies abruptly, I wanna have something to use so I don't have to that day buy something.
If you wanna do a battery replacement, I've got a well-used Nexus 6P with a bad battery and a cracked screen. It's a very small crack on the screen.
Uh, wait a minute, let me think about it for a second. No, I think I'll be alright.
It doesn't do much.
There is a guy at work with a, Moto X Pure that I might end up using, but that phone, just like the Nexus 6, too damn big. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. Too damn big.
Too damn big.
Too damn big.
Alright, Dora, you got anything you wanna empty your tank with?
Not sure, let me take a look. Uh Honestly, not really. The only thing I'll end with here, and I think it's kind of funny because I think Alphabet Scoop and one other person um, did comment on this. I think appropriately is what I'm going to say. Um, the Google Hub is the $100 device that
$150, yeah?
$150 device that I literally heard people say, $150, that ain't a lot of money.
I don't think it is either for that.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no. $150. Just 100 if you just blatantly spend $150, that's not pennies. Okay,
Oh,
maybe if you live in San Francisco and you pay like $4,000 a month of rent, $150 ain't a lot of money, but $150 in most people's budgets in the United States is at least a 3 to 4 person meal, if not a 5 to 6 person meal. That's not something that people spend money without thinking about. Okay. 2, this is running what looks like an Android operating system on it, which made people believe when they first saw this device, it is going to be running Android things. Android things is the thing that they wouldn't shut up about for about a year now about how great it is. Um, Come to find out, it literally only works on very selected hardware and nothing else. Is utterly hardware dependent. And what I think is funny is the exact same company telling people to use Android things about how it's the next greatest thing. The same company, who I'm sure is disconnected from that Android things department, designed and made this, and it's not running Android things. What it's actually running is a version of the Chromecast operating system. I said that slow for a reason. It's not running Chrome OS. It's running a version of the Chromecast operating system. Now, the Chromecast operating system is the exact same kernel from Chrome OS, but it has things removed from it. It has a much more simplified interface. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. Um, and what I was led to believe was if they did use Android thing sufficient hardware, it would have been closer to 225.
yeah, I
Um,
think I mean, if I didn't already own a Chromecast, the full version, the original one, I think I paid $150 for then. I would certainly be interested in this one. I don't, but now, I mean, I've got the full size Chromecast in my kitchen. I've got a Chromecast Mini that came free with my phone downstairs. I can't see any reason to have a third Chromecast in my house. But to have, and I guess the speaker on this, the Chromecast still has a great speaker. It's a good sounding piece of hardware. This
Chromecast?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Google Home. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Google Home and Google Home Mini. Thank you for correcting me on that. I would have kept going that the whole time. So this has the Chromecast operating system on it,
Yeah.
not Google Home. I wonder
Nope.
if that's the same thing.
Well, it wouldn't shock me if the Home is a trimmed down version of that as well, because that's the whole thing. To me, it's not, and I wasn't saying it to say it's an incompetent or incapable thing, but the company can't even use their own damn stuff.
Yeah.
That what it's intended for. And here's the best part: no camera.
Yeah, that's great. That's really
Well,
good.
but the company spend selling a $799 camera that's a crappy phone, and the one that's publishing that billboard stuff or whatever it was called, camera video focus stuff, to put out a device like this without a camera in it. It shocks me. It literally shocks me. And I like the fact that there's no camera in it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, especially when you see Facebook's thing that you were talking about earlier that's, all about the camera. But using our Chromecast, we use our Google Home a lot, and not just for music, but just to ask questions and, set timers and, little things like that, recipes. But for it to have the weather and the recipes showing up on the screen, I think that would be, if I didn't already have a Google Home, I would buy this probably.
I know. I'll just put it like this. I'm really happy I can say this on this show without anybody getting upset at me. I'll say this. Nightwise.com, literally 4 years ago or something, went through great detail explaining one of the things that he wanted in his house. It was basically this, just a little bit bigger, because this is small. This is very small. This is not big. Okay. This is one of the things
Mm.
everyone has to realize. This is not big. This is actually near phone size.
Well, it's a 7-inch, basically, so the tablet, like your cheap Amazon Kindle Fire, the cheapest $30 one you can get, is that size.
Right. Right, and the fact that it has what I think a lot of people, a hell of a lot of people, would love to have instantly available to them, like walking downstairs in the morning to just turn to the side and see what the weather looks like, what the traffic looks like, what is on the a, um a, um a, um itinerary. Did somebody leave you a digital note?
Mhm.
"Mom, gonna be late tonight, gotta do this," you mean, kind of, which I'm pretty sure this can probably do, is what I'm gonna say. Um, I'm gonna tell you now, Eric, the functionality of this device might make me say, "I don't care," and buy it.
Well, and that's a thing with the Google Home since I bought it, what's been 2 years now? Year and a half, it's gotta been 2 years. The functionality has changed so much, even though it's only voice controlled, the things it responds to and the way it acts, they have, it went from, like, from Android, honeycomb to Android P along with me kinda, you know what I mean? It's been a lot of upgrades, constant upgrades, to that hardware. So they do maintain their support on these so far.
Well, they will, but you know they have planned they well, everybody who puts out any level of hardware will eventually stop supporting it, and that's just the way it is. When
Mhm.
a company's upfront about it, I honestly feel better about it rather than finding out, "Oh, this thing's only I only bought this thing a year ago. Now they're not suppo," I much rather know ahead of time. I don't know what the Google Home life expectancy is, but there has to be one.
Yeah,
Um,
afterwards, you still got a decent Bluetooth speaker when that day comes.
Gotcha. Do you do the good morning routine to it?
N I don't. I don't.
See, that's the only thing if I had one, that's the only thing I would use, like, incessantly. Because on my phone, because now my speaker's blown, I had to connect the Bluetooth, piece to it, and then in the morning, I come downstairs and I just say good morning to the phone, and then I hear what the weather's gonna be like, if there's anything on my daily schedule, and then it goes into the news, which my news stream takes about, like, 4 hours to go through.
The the Google Home is kind of embarrassing to use unless everybody knows you're using it, because it's usually way too loud for the rest of the sleeping people in the house if you go to use it first thing in the morning,
Wow.
or, it just, really draws attention. But if everybody, say if everybody's in the room or everybody knows that you're gonna say, "Okay, Google," that's, sorry about that, everybody. That's one thing, but if you're by yourself, it's okay too, but if
Mhm.
there's people in different rooms doing their own thing and it starts rattling off some answer to some question you ask, it's awkward a little bit.
Yeah, I will say if I was single, it would be much more usable,
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
thing. Um, but, because, like, here's the question, if you don't use it for the good morning thing, what do you use it for? Because I mean, you use a lot, right?
I mean, it gets used every day. We all use it different ways. I mean, that like, my wife used it this morning to set an egg timer for 16 minutes for her, egg cooker that you use. That's
I
we use
love
it
the
for.
Dash cooker.
Yeah, we use that a lot. We use it, for the timer on the dash. Um, I don't know, I listen to music on it. I
Mhm.
ask random questions, instead of looking up anything on my phone, I'll just ask it, and it'll pretty much spit out an answer for me.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that I will say is, Um, I'm thinking now scheduling things in the calendar is literally like beneficial. What I did was I have my son Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week in his calendar. It says today's band day. Don't forget to bring your trumpet. So every morning now I have him when he gets out of the shower. He's drying off his phone. His phone has to be on him at all times, even when he's in the shower. So he, like, unlocks the phone, "Okay, schmoogle, good morning," and then it tells him what the temperature is gonna be like. He knows properly how to dress because 'cause I'm tired of telling him how to dress. As far as I'm concerned, he's a man. He can do it himself. Um, but it also will like tell him today is Wednesday. Do not forget you have band today, kind of thing. So the act of calendaring combined with the good morning routine they have, I think is nice. But Amazon just literally did whisper mode. Did you hear that?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that might be a good thing. I
Well,
suppose that
and I'll say
that'll be
this:
coming.
if they could also enable it to basically, you could like on your phone be quieter and whisper to it, and have the Google Home do stuff. That's even better.
That
I
would
don't know.
be. Yeah, if I could talk to my
Like,
watch and have my Google
yeah.
Home respond, that would be
Do,
nice.
do you have any Chromebooks?
I do.
Okay. I encourage you, boot it up, go into settings, go into about, check for updates, check for upgrades, let it do its thing. My Chromebook Flip, um, asked me, do I want to be better connected? What? Yeah, sure. I want to be better connected. And it said, okay, you're now better together with connected devices. And then I come to find out it's a new feature on Chrome OS called Better Together, which really does sound like some sort of tyrannical thing getting ready to take over all the people and enslave them. Just
Mhm.
saying. Um,
I get it.
but
It's a good point.
but the problem is I enacted on my Chromebook and it says I have a compatible device, my Honor 8, and then it basically just says waiting for verification and it doesn't do anything else. So it didn't work. But if I'm led to believe what it is, it's going to be a more seamless experience between Chrome browser on your phone and Chrome OS thing. So literally I can leave a tab up on my Chrome book, turn it off, go to my phone, hit Chrome, and it will launch that page that I had loaded already, kind of thing. And
That's
I believe.
okay. Well, no, I can see that. I mean, there's been apps that have done that before a little bit. It's an iteration to have it built in. That's nice.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to do something else. I just don't know what.
I heard something about it, but I can't remember what it was. All right. Dora, I think we'll wrap it up. 7 more days till Halloween Silver Shamrock. And get that stuck in your head. Do you remember that show, that movie?
No,
Halloween? It's like, oh. Dun, 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 dun,
I'm
dun,
not
dun,
a horror
dun,
movie guy.
Silver Shamrock. It was some kind of subliminal commercial for Silver Shamrock Halloween costumes.
Hmm.
And when you watch the show, when you watch the commercial, it would put you into some sort of a trance and turn you into like a zombie. Quote. Anyway, we do have a couple um, things from Ivor for the show title, so that's cool. We'll pick one of those. Thank you, Ivor. Rhino. So I guess do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap up, Dor?
Yeah, just thanks everybody.
Yeah, I thank you guys too, and thanks for the emails. We still have voicemails we can play too. If well, we don't have any. That's the thing. We would play them if we had some. 7076 Podnut. If you want to leave us a voicemail and more than just an email, you can hear yourself on the podcast and show it off to your friends and everything when you're show, hey man, I was a part of this podcast, and you will be. Um, I don't have a app rundown. Do you have a list of the apps for tonight, Dor?
Yeah, what I have is Live Case from Google, ZTE Quartz Watch. We have the list of infected, compromised applications. We have Stardew Valley Tracker. Then we have Rontivity. After that, we have RollingUp Filament Spool Manager for 3D printing. Then we have Google Bulletin, YouTube TV, uh, Google Home Hub.
All right. Well, maybe so. Next week is Halloween on our recording night. I don't think we'll probably be able to make it.
It's on a weekend?
No, it's on a Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Yeah. Sorry.
What show are we doing?
Sorry.
It's on a Sunday. So all right. So I don't know if we'll be back next week. If not, we'll be back 2 weeks, and we'll have recovered from our sugar comas or whatever we do with chocolate. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you then. I'll record an intro here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Now, the
521. Is that right? Sounds
Yep.
right. 522? 21. Was it 21?
521. 21.
Android App Addicts, episode 521. Door talks about Stardew Valley again. I ain't got it, Door. I
Ain't
can't.
easy.
I can't come up with something like he can at the end of the show. He must. I wonder if he works on it during the show.
I swear he does.
He has to. Because I didn't even think about it until now.
I'll
How about for the show title, "Bringing the Evil of Facebook Home"? Like that one?
fit. Oh, I gotta stop yawning. My brain function right. Special. Special. Oh, so that's what we said. I don't remember.
What's that?
We said that in the show.
Yeah, I did.
Gotcha. I tell you, if a phone's gonna ever blow up in my house, it might be this Asus Zenfone.
Yeah.
I'm literally shocked at
When
how
does that stuff happen? What is it? Is that all? Are they all going to blow up at some point?
well. I tell you, the Wi-Fi not working. I'm gonna have to say it's heating up because the Wi-Fi not isn't working, and there's something like in the chip that's actually
Mm.
bad. And it will like sometimes randomly go from saying full battery to like 20% battery, even if I leave it on the charger for like 3 days straight. Yeah, and this was an Intel based Android device. Don't have too many of them.
No. I think I had a tablet that had a Atom or Celeron or something in it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an Atom. Should change here any second. Unless unless it just ain't going to boot anymore.
Does it give you the Intel Inside chime?
Nah.
Yep, the Android went away.
Say it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a rare breed, there, man.
Yeah, it is. And I'll say this: the only thing that this phone really did suffer from was lack of life of battery, and I had to believe it did that because Intel Intel's not good at batteries.
Right.
This was the first time I booted it up and it said Wi-Fi was turned off, because before it just said it was turned on and it just couldn't actually turn on.
See, it's working its way back.
I don't know.
That ROM setting itself in.
Now it's saying to see available networks, turn on Wi-Fi. I turn Wi-Fi on and it's just doing nothing. Okay, I need your audio, Eric. I'm gonna kill this feed because I gotta start the post process.
It's on its way.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks, guys.